welcome to Crosshatch Creations again. Today I'm pretty stoked. I'm trying something new. Hey Ginger Princess, great to see you. I know, I'm finally back. Woohoo! Today I am felting, which I didn't even know existed. Word of the day, eurbescent. So it means reddening or blushing. So we're going to make some eurbescent Pokemon today with raw wool, some styrofoam balls, and needles. I know, we're gonna stab things till they look cute. It's very stress relieving. Yeah, if you use the word of the day, I will send you some globs that you can use in the glob store. And there's also, I'm attempting to get music working. There's song requests, and you can also vote to skip them as well. And you just do that by saying skip in the chat. So we'll get started here. So felting, basically what it is, for those who may not know, you're just taking raw wool. It's fluffy and soft. Woohoo! And you're basically taking a barbed needle. So this is a little tool with a bunch of them in there. So there's 5 barbed needles in here. You can change out how fine or like sticky outy. Ooh, I'm breathing my foam balls away. Your needles are. These ones are a little tougher, and you can, yeah, as I said, you can change them out in here. So you can't really see the barb. It's pretty fine, but you're taking these needles and you're basically folding the wool into itself. So we're going to do some colors. We're going to make some Pokeballs. You can see them in the corner there because Pokemon are adorable. We're going to make some Pokeball earrings. So we're going to felt them and turn them into earrings. And then we're going to make a little Swablu because he's one of my favorites. A little bit of an example of kind of what we're working for. This is Jigglypuff. So this was felted as well. So have you done any before? Oh, yes, I've done this one. So I'm relatively new at this, but I've kind of fallen in love with it because it's a lot of fun and they're little and adorable. So this was my tester, and we're gonna try and make some make them look better. But it's crazy if you look up felting, just the adorableness that is felting. So it's pretty sweet. I am very excited to get into it, and I've kind of fallen in love a little bit. They are really cute, Ginger Princess. They're fluffy, they're squishy, and they're just fun. So it'll be good. So Jigglypuff will hang out with us. Maybe we'll stick Jigglypuff over in the corner there. Right, so I'm going to get started with some Pokeballs. I'm making tiny ones, so this is just a styrofoam ball. The reason I'm using styrofoam is just to lower how much wool I'm going to use. So you can just take wool and stab it into a ball. But a lot of people, when they're doing larger projects, like this one has a styrofoam ball in it, for one, you get a nice little like round shape, but you also use less wool because the colored wool, it just makes it a little cheaper because styrofoam's way cheaper than wool. I'm hoping to maybe get in contact with it. We have a local Weavers Guild and maybe getting some wool from them. You had a friend who moved away and her favorite was Jigglypuff, so I always name it after her. Aww, that's so special. Jigglypuff's just adorable. I love that you name it after her. Okay, we're gonna get started. So I'm just gonna chop off. There's not a whole lot of space I need to cover here. Something I'm learning is the right amount of wool. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of white here. And this is just plain white. It does fold into itself. So, oh, and the brush. I should explain that too. The brush is just so you don't stab your table or your fingers. So the needle actually doesn't go all the way to the base there. You can kind of see. So that protects your needle, which extends the life of your needle so you don't break it in half. And also you don't stab your fingers. Some people use like styrofoam as well for that. The brush is just really nice. It's easier to clean out. Although you do, as you can kind of see my blue on here, it does kind of collect stuff. Ooh, I see photos. Photos in the chat. It's loading. Oh, it's a little bee. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I love bumblebees, and I think that is accurately adorable. You drew something proud of. You should be proud. It looks great. The eye looks really like, it looks like a bee. And I like what you did with the 2 wings. All right, Sarah. No, it's super cute. So yeah, you kind of just stick it where you want it. This is going to be interesting because we're not covering the whole styrofoam ball. We are just doing half because we're doing the first, I'm just going to do a regular Pokeball. So this is the fun part. You just stab it. That is it. The needles in my little handle thingy here are fine. So that's so fun. They take a little bit longer to attach things. But I like using, I guess I could do half and half. I like using the rougher ones for some single needle work, just because I find it responds a little bit better and it listens to my finger. But I guess I could put a couple in because I only have 5 of those and 5 of these. So I guess I could do a couple of them. So that's all you really do. You just stab. It's really relaxing, kind of stress relieving, and plus you get really cute stuff out of it. There's a little safety on here too. Like that's what this plastic thing is. That's so you don't like stab your finger. And there's also a lock up. Oh, right here. You can lock or unlock it so that won't move. So if you're traveling and want to throw it in your bag, that way you don't accidentally stab yourself. I have definitely done that with a razor. I put it in like my bathroom bag and I didn't put the little thing you're supposed to put on top of the razor on it. And I reached in and I sliced my finger. It was not my brightest decision. Okay, so that kind of gets it into place. You can kind of see it's starting to flatten out a bit, which is wonderful. It's exactly what I wanted to do. So you, oh, I just stabbed myself. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, you put it on the brush. Here I thought I'd get away with it, but apparently not. But no blood, see? Finger is good. The things you learn. That's like when I was in school, because we were working with knives. It's really fun to hang out with a bunch of cooks and exchange injury stories. My my worst, I think. My most impressive, extreme, painful. However you would like to refer to it. Oh yeah, no, there's music going. Sweet. You're not bleeding. No, I am not. I was being nice. Yes, good, I'm not bleeding. My best injury was we were doing this big Christmas dinner for the school. So it was like a cheap dinner because, you know, when you're going to college, some people are far away from home. They, I'm going to grab one of these and start doing some finer work now. Far away from home, they might not get to go home for Christmas dinner. They might not be able to afford a Christmas dinner. So what I do like to do is I like to grab it from the side here and then stab it in because then I know it's going where I want it to. And that's how I'm trying to make a clean line. So it was like a cheap $10 come and get a Christmas dinner, hang out with your fellow students or whatever before you go away for Christmas break. So we made homemade, we did gingerbread cookie dough. And then we did homemade ice cream and mixed the cookie dough, gingerbread cookie dough, in with the ice cream. And so we also wanted to serve with it. I got little fuzzies in here, so I'm just going to pull that out. We'll like stuff, pick up on stuff. No, go in there. It's very fuzzy and I want it to be less fuzzy. So we're making this gingerbread ice cream and we're wanting to do rum flambéed bananas. So we have an induction plate. Induction is just like, instead of like using a gas or heat coil, it's magnetic. So you can only use certain pots on it, but it heats the pot up through magnets. And So we have that out in the main food area with the blowtorch to flambe off the rum, off the bananas. So it was like a sauteed flambe rum banana thing that we were serving with the ice cream fresh. And so everyone was like, oh, who wants to flambe? And flambe is fun. Like, it's very fun. Because you're like, you get your little pan lit. So we had, that was what the blowtorch was for, is to catch the alcohol. And you burn off all the alcohol and the flame goes up. And then all you're left with is the flavor. And so I flambe these bananas and it's all good. And I'm like, oh, I want to taste it. So you can see here the wool. It's kind of hard to see when it's white. You'll see better with the red. But it's flatter now and it's attached. So you can't actually take it off because it's all folded in on each other. So, I was like, oh, I'm done flambeing. I would like to taste it. The spoon was on the other side of the blowtorch. And my not very thinking aheady brain was like, I will reach over the blowtorch to grab the spoon to taste the banana. It was not very well thought out on my part. Just taking in all those little fuzzies and sticking them in there. Making a nice flat line. Which is what I want to see. I did the white first. Just because I feel like white is... I usually start light first. Dark on top. I do one day want to try like dark canvas. Like black canvas art. That looks really cool. To cook in fire. Flambe. I think that's what it means, yeah. That was just like the technique. So you are cooking it in fire. It's just the flame cooking off the alcohol base. So usually there's some sort of, because you have to have something to catch on fire, right? And then it doesn't totally burn it because you're not actually burning the food. You're just burning the alcohol off of it, which is fun. Because you're just playing with fire. Some people were scared of it, but I was like, I want to play with fire, please. It was a little scary. Also really fun. Okay, so that side is done. And now I'm going to grab some red. Now that we're all nice and white and fluffy. So these are just dyed felts. You can use white and dye them yourself if you want to make your own colors. I have not gotten that far. Okay, let's do this much. We'll start here. You can always add more if we need it. Anyway, so I reached over top and the part of the blowtorch on the top there, it skidded across my whole forearm. So I had this burn that was like this big. And I reached over top, grabbed a spoon, moved back, and looked at it. And my teacher was like, and it went like scaled. Like I looked like alligator skin immediately. And I was like, I have to go now. And he's like, yeah, you probably should. So I just booked it to the nearest sink and threw some cold water on it. But it did not help a whole lot. And it was rather painful. Okay, so I want this to be a clean line. So before I go stab crazy, I'm going to take this guy and just kind of poke it in where I want it to and attach it. Just so it is stuck there. This is something that's really good to do for like eyeballs, just to get it in place, and then you can add more later. So, yeah, it was crazy. And then I had to go get burn cream, but I learned that there's great big like bandages you can get that cover your whole arm that are waterproof. But it was rather painful. Burns are nasty because they just kind of sit there and burn. Always. Whereas a cut, as long as you don't touch it. Chat's being dumb for me. Ah! Chat! Stop being dumb. Be nice to Ginger Princess, chat. Crazy. Okay, so see how we kind of got that nice line there that we want. And we're just going to keep on moving over. I'm probably going to add some more on the back here, but we'll get this all attached first before we do that. So maybe that'll be my question. What is your most painful or coolest injury story? That is my craziest injury story. I've actually never broken a bone. I know that some people have broken many bones, and I have yet to experience that kind of pain. Although as a kid, I thought casts were really cool because everyone got their friends to sign them and stuff. And I was like, man, I want to break a bone so I can get a cast. You stuck your hand in a campfire. Oh. Were you trying to grab something? You probably got pretty burnt, hey? Actually, there was a guy in my class who, it's fun in the kitchen because you have to yell like hot and let people know when stuff is hot. So technically kitchen etiquette is if there's like an oven mitt on something, it's like letting someone know like, hey, this is still hot. Don't touch it with your bare hands. So my one classmate was like, so-and-so, don't touch this pot, it's hot. And she said it like 3 or 4 times, but he just wasn't paying attention. And he grabbed the pot, the handle, it was metal, so the whole thing was really hot. And it burnt his entire hand, like all around the fingers and stuff. And so he had to walk around with an ice bucket. We were all like, ugh. It looked really painful. A broken bone for 3 weeks, and no one noticed? How do you not notice a broken bone? Was it like a toe? I know those can be kind of hard to diagnose. What did you break? That sounds painful. Yeah, it sucks. I hear toes, they can't really do anything about them, which is kind of like super lame. Okay. Making that nice clean line again. Alright. Are we mostly circular? We're nice and fuzzy. Alright, we'll get this all attached right here. My doorbell just rang. I have no idea who's at my house. Craziness. Okay, stabbing it in. Get it nice and... Wow, that turned out really nice and clean. Nice and separate. Okay, so I'm going to pull some of this red down because it looks not entirely even. And I want it to look nice. Nice and good. Okay, I'm behind here. Taken to the doctor, your doctor was like, oh, nah, it's healed. Ooh, so it probably healed, like, did it heal okay? Because I know some people have, like, broken things, and then it healed wrong, and then they had to get them, like, re-broken, and that sounds painful. Like, more painful. It was your arm. You didn't know. You were 4. You have high pain tolerance. Oh, wow. That's impressive that you broke your arm. I didn't even know. That's intense. Okay, that looks better. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to... We've got a little fuzzy hat here on our Pokeball. So I'm going to stab that as well. And this is where I'll use the big one and not stab my fingers. You still can't pop your shoulder to this day. Like when you like rotate it, like how some people like pop their like shoulder joints. Ooh. Yeah, I've heard some like physical therapy stuff can be pretty intense, especially like shoulder injuries. I know people have to like tear ligaments, like re-tear them so they heal right. It sounds very painful. Okay. Oh, I've never been someone who can pop things. Like some people can crack their knuckles and stuff, and I just, mine don't pop, except my ears. I don't know why, but if I pull on my ears, it just goes crackle. It crackles. Like, it's kind of odd. So I'd be like, hey, look at this, and people would be like, oh, what is it? Okay. Put your ear next to my ears so you can feel it and you hear it crack. That's kind of funny. So, as you stab onto styrofoam, as styrofoam does when you poke it lots, it tends to lose its structure. So it kind of starts to fall apart, but it doesn't really matter at this point because your felt or your wool has kind of folded in on itself. So even though the inside styrofoam kind of disappears in a way, it holds together quite nicely. And again, you get a nice round shape, which can be a little tricky to get. And so the closer you get, the flatter it'll get for you. And it's little and fuzzy, which is wonderful. I find if you're trying to make round things, and I'm stabbing them together on here, as you can tell it's a little blue. I did that for the eyeball. For Jigglypuff over here. It kind of can get stuck into your brush pad here. However, there are ways to clean it. You can get little brushes and clean those out. So it's a lot of fun. And the cool thing is it's something I find you can do. I actually did Jigglypuff was made whilst driving. Not like while I was driving, but road notice. Please don't felt and drive. Please keep your crafts to yourself. No. While I was passengering. Is that a word? Passengering? Oh, I like that. What a nice clean line. Okay. So, stabby here, stabby there. I think that looks fun. So we got our round ball and two sides. And we want to put a little white dot circle in the middle. Ooh. The light was moved and now I'm glowing. Hello. So these I found, you could try and like stab it on here. I find when it's really small like this, it kind of sinks its way in and it's like, I'm gonna live in the brush now. So I actually found it worked better to take the whole big old fluff ball, fluff ball, and just stab it on, and then you just gotta fold it into the right spot, and it slowly becomes a little circle. Ever so slowly. You just gotta be patient and careful. I don't know. It's kind of my new favorite thing right now. I'm like, I need to work on other art projects, but all I want to do is felt. Because it's so fun. Plus, they're so cute. Cool. Okay, so there. We kind of got a little circle on there now. Eventually, I searched all over town and was not able to find black felt or yarn. So I'm going to use a felt marker and get our little black details in there, and then later I will sew on the black line. But I tried this yesterday and it actually worked pretty okay. So we're just going to do a little bit of black just in here, and later we'll do the actual black. Try not to like hide off in my corner. Okay, we need another question because I like questions. Okay, would you rather See, put off. I just woke up. Oh, not at all. It's always great hanging out with you, Ginger Princess. Did you have like a nap? Naps are the best. I remember I don't know what it is, but like I've really grown to love naps. and it's like, I'm just gonna go have a nap for an hour, and I take way more naps than I used to. I don't know if I'm just better at admitting I'm tired. Maybe that's it. I've become to realize that I'm pretty useless when I'm tired, so I just take naps so I can get more done. Alright, and we'll just do the little circle around here. Cool. So again, we will fill this in more later. And I'm actually going to turn these guys into earrings, which is really super easy. Oh, look at that. We got a little Pokeball. So cute. I kind of take a nap every day because of your medication. Oh, so it just makes you super tired. That's fair. Naps are awesome. I am a huge fan of naps. This is my big old bucket of fun. I will grab 2 out of here for now. So this is the fun part. So let's turn these into earrings because everyone needs a Pokeball on their ear. You know, in case you come across a Pokemon. Alright. So I got this metal piece right here. It's got a little flat end. And I'm just going to stab it right through the middle. Oh, easier said than done. Go! There we go. Ta-da! And these, I believe, are called shepherd's hooks earrings. So I'm just going to take the top here. Grab it with, these are just like pliers. Round-nosed. And I'm just grabbing this end and bending it. So it's round. Go up when it's a bit rounder. And then before I wrap it around, I'm going to stick the shepherd's hook onto that. Oh, did I go too far? Please. There we go. And then, now that it's attached, I like keeping it pretty round just so it moves nicely. And bend it. Oh, hey, sorry. Bending it around in a circle here. So now you've got this weird loop going on. And then this bottom part, I just grab and wrap it around. Maybe I shouldn't use my fingers, but I am. Wrap it around the post that you originally put your Pokeball on. I almost fell asleep in the sun today, though. It felt nice, but I didn't want to get a sunburn. Yes, that is important. Sometimes the sun feels really nice, and you're just, it kind of like awakens the inner cat in me. And I'm just like, huh, I'm just gonna like nap here. But again, I also just kind of burn. I've never been a huge tanner. I'm a burner. If that's a thing. Okay, so folding over the middle. It's so little. And this is a little funky looking and it's not quite round. So I'm grabbing this piece just because it's not very round. And I'm not going to pinch my fingers. I'm going to squish it so it's round. Aha! Okay. And then you can trim it off and there you are. You now have a Pokeball earring. I will trim this off later. That you can now wear. Hey, little Pokeballs hanging out on your ears. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, Pokeball number 1. We'll hang out over here with Jigglypuff. That was fast! Woohoo! And then we'll do number 2. A tan once on your chest because I wore a dress to your muffin's graduation. Nice! Actually, I'm really bad for that. Tank tops are my favorite summer thing ever. So, especially, okay, hold on. Ooh. I had one job where I had to wear whites, which is just like that cook's uniform with all the buttons down them, so I always had a tank top underneath it. And so on my breaks, you have to take your whites off because you can't wear them in the bathroom because ew. It might be kind of gross. And so I walked around outside in that all the time. So you can see in all of my wedding photos, I have this awesome suntan and I was wearing like a strapless and you could see my like tan lines. It's incredible. It's awesome. And then actually I was trying to like, I was like, oh man, I have tan lines. I should like put makeup in this so that it like, you can't see the tan lines. However, the original, I got my friend to go pick some up for me because I was busy doing something. But the stuff she got I was allergic to. And then I started getting this giant hive, like rash, right on my chest. I was like, ah! Only because I got a nasty month-long sunburn before that. Oh, so your like old sunburn turned into like a new tan and then like yet to get a new one for his graduation. Well, I'm sure you looked fabulous. Step, 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 step. I think there was one time I looked tan. Not that I really care. I find it's interesting. When I was in India, I find it funny because in North America we have like bronzer and tanning creams. And then you go to like India and you can't find that anywhere. But you can find like skin whitening creams. So it's like over there they want to be lighter, over here we want to be darker. So it's just kind of this funny like crazy comparison. But I think in T&T Supermarket too, I saw those too. However, it's just like difference, I guess. I am happy as long as I'm not itchy and dry and burning. The color is a little easier to work with, I would think, just because you can see it better, but that's okay. I saw these really cute felted gnomes that I want to do. Also, I want to do Kirby because Jigglypuff looks a little Kirby-esque. And I think Kirby would be adorable. But we're going to start with these ones. Swablu is one of my top 3 favorite Pokemon. I feel like I should be a little more in-depth about why, because of the type, or because I like to use the Pokemon. Mostly because I think Swablu is absolutely adorable, and I'm mildly shallow in how I pick my Pokemon by their cuteness factors. Not necessarily by how useful they are. Swablu can be pretty good, though. Kirby! Yes! First game you played without help of a walkthrough. Ooh! Lovely! I love... Kirby is my absolute... Ooh. Kirby is my second. Next to Zelda and Sheik. On Super Smash Bros. I love Kirby. Because you can run around, chase your friends, and just be like... and then you just, like... become your friend, and you're like, and I love like Kirby with the little Link hat. It's just really cute. I haven't played any of the new Kirby games. Superstar. You pick Pokemon by their ugliness. Excellent. Okay, so who would you say then is the ugliest Pokemon that you enjoy? Because I want to know. I guess all of them are kind of cute in their own way. Giratina is kind of like... But some of them just look cool. I'm a little light on white, so I'm going to grab a little more. Those are pliers, not scissors. A little more of our fluff. And stick it right over here. Because I think ugly is cute. Hey! Cute is up to the interpretation. Relicanth. It's cool, though. I'm going to Google that right now. Because I want to know. Relicanth. There's so many Pokemon, especially with like all the new ones. Oh, he's like a fish. I wouldn't say he's ugly. I think he's kind of neat looking. His evolution is cool. Like a shark. He's sweet. Nosepass, but my personal favorite. I like Nosepass. Muck and Rattata. Oh, also Rattata's just sweet. All Pokemon Go, though, I had like 1 million of those. Muck. I think I know which one that is, but I'm Googling it just for... I like him. He's big and gloopy. Yes. I agree. I would say he's ugly. I think he's pretty cute. Yeah, okay, make sure I'm going the right way here. My favorite is probably Dragonair. But Dratini's just adorable. I always have a really hard time, like, deciding if I want to evolve Dratini at all, because I think it's really cute. But it makes me sad, because Dragonair doesn't really look Because I know it's the last evolution and like probably the best one to have, but it doesn't look very much like... Also, I always feel like in my brain that when you evolve, they would get bigger. Kind of like when you grow up, when you're a toddler, you're this big and then you get taller. And then it's like... Okay, let's see if I got not Dratini. Dragonite is who I'm talking about. Dragonite. The last evolution. Dratini is like, when you look at it, she's like, or he, or whichever one you got is like 20 feet tall. It's huge. And then it goes smaller. And that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. Okay. You have to be like super into Pokemon because sometimes there's like so many new ones too. Okay, I think that looks good. That looks flat enough for me. That's flat enough for me. Oh, questions! You're gonna do questions. My question is, would you rather live one lifetime lasting 1,000 years or live 10 lives at 100 years each? Same amount of time. You know, I think I would rather do 10. Because the thing that makes me sad in all of the, like, shows that are, like, Benjamin Button or whatever, is if you live for a really long time, doesn't mean your friends are gonna live for a really long time. This is a little too fat, so I'm gonna cut some off. So then it's like you watch all of your friends move on and then you don't, if you were to live for 1,000 years. However, if you lived like a ton of, I think as long as you're like consciously like you knew, if you lived a couple lifetimes, then in each lifetime you'd get to like grow up with different people. I think that sounds fun, but that is my personal opinion. One might be nice too though, because then it's like, granted, would you have the same personality or do you have to like get to know yourself? I feel like that's a thing that sometimes gets missed, is like getting to know yourself, because it's like sometimes you gotta know, do you like cheese? Oh, that's great. Actually, when I was speaking of Jigglypuff and naming it after your friend, whenever I was in Harvest Moon, I would name, or when I played Harvest Moon, I liked to name my animals after people. My sister was always the dog, and I loved my cows in Harvest Moon. And so I named, in one of my first games, I named the cow after my mom. Because I thought, I love the cow, I like my mom, so I'm going to name it after my mom. Little did I know that, you know, it might be offensive to someone if you name a cow after them. She was very understanding. She's like, yes, dear. That's nice. After that, I just started naming them weird things. Actually, after my account got deleted a couple times, then I started naming them after weird things. Like, I named one Mufasa. Because it's a cow and it moos. Yeah, I found it really entertaining. Stubbity, stubbity, stub. It looks like it's got this, like, crazy afro going on here. Stabbing! This is when I need to make sure I don't stab my fingers, because that could hurt. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this Pokeball. Literally. Okay, now that that's folded over, I'm currently reading, I think I mentioned this before, Dorothy Must Die. And I'm at like the last 20 pages.
Spoilers.
And it's like this weird cliffhanger, but it's kind of like at this point where it's like, you know when you're reading a book and it starts to get like really intense? There's part of me that's like, it's almost too intense that I don't want to read it. Because I just can't handle the stress. Move Mufasa! I thought it was pretty cute. I'm glad you appreciate that. It was a girl cow. And I know Mufasa is, like, the king. But, the Lion King. Oh, well. Life goes on. It's a cow. It says moo. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just, like, I want to read it, but then I almost, like, because reading is usually, like, a relaxing activity. But I'm reading this intense book, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I have the, like, emotional energy to read this right now. It's not a relaxing. It's really good. It's just, like, stressful. Like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? It's not like that in movies, but movies are pretty fast-paced. But TV shows do that, too. You know, in a TV show, you really, like, ends on a cliffhanger, and you're like... I enjoyed Friendship is Magic, My Little Pony, because they always started with their double feature. So you got your 2-piece right away, and you didn't have to wait till they did the next season. I don't know if it's made for children, and kids just can't, like, handle that stress of not knowing, but... I thought that was a great idea and was like, why can't all TV shows do this? Because that just makes more sense to me. Okay, we are looking around. Hooray! We have Pokeball number 2. We got 1. Hey, what's up, Jigglypuff? Okay, and some more. A little piece of fluff. I'm going to put it right here, I think. Right there. This is how we're going to do it. I find you kind of bunch it up and then stab it. Works really well. Alright, would you rather have a unicorn as a pet or be a unicorn? I like being a person. I think a unicorn as a pet. Then you have the best of both worlds. You can, like... do them, like, hang out with them. I mean, as long as your pet likes you. But then you can, like, do the... I don't actually, like, know the full potential of magical powers when it comes to unicorns. But, you know, I feel like as long as you're friends, that's cool. They can't fly, can they? No, those are Pegasuses. I have one as a pet. Because you have horses. Oh, I was because I hate horses. They scare you. Oh, why do they scare you? They're pretty, like, large and strong, though. I remember the first time I saw a, that looks round and ball-like. Like is it steer? Is that the man cow? Bull. Wow. When I saw one in real life, and it's like, the muscles on those things are frightening. I was really glad I was on a quad. I mean, granted, if it was in a place where there was a fence, then I could probably, like, stay on the other side of the fence. But it was pretty, like, intense. You kind of have that moment where you're just like, I'm not gonna mess with you. And I had a whole new respect for, like, bullfighters, because that's a little frightening. I don't think the one I saw had horns, though. No. So it wasn't too bad. Really strong and really tall. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people, not a lot. I know a few people where one was, like, stepped on them by a horse and broke their foot. I know people who have gotten concussions. I'm sorry if I'm not helping your fear right now. Horses are kind of cool, though, because they're pretty smart. Like, they know. And if you're nice to them, they remember. And if you're not, they remember. Horses are the best. I disagree. Clearly feels differently than me. But I'd also go for owning a unicorn. Just for all the puns. What kind of puns? My brain is drawing a blank. Like, what would you name it? What would you name your unicorn? If I had a unicorn... I mean, unless unicorns come with their own names. I don't have respect for bullfighters because they kill the bull after the shows, at least in Spain. Do they really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's kind of gladiator sad-ish. Like, fight for your life! Haha, just kidding. Oh, well
They
that's...
have the swords.
That's not very humane. I feel like that's not super humane. I feel like if an animal is going to die, it should be painless. It's my feelings. Involving horns. Oh, I see where this is going. Now we have 2 Pokeballs! Hooray! I'm totally gonna wear these to work tomorrow, I think. Oh wait, let's look over here. Again! Alright. Stabbity stab stab. Through the middle. And we're going to bend this. I'm gonna bend it a little higher this time. No, I don't want to. I changed my mind. Around we go. And there we go. Okay, we made it round. And we're going to stick this on. And we're going to bend this over. Bend it over. Squish. Alright. They almost always win. And even though I think they get euthanized afterwards. Oh. Well, that's lame. Well, I admire the courage of being willing to step into a thing with a bowl. What they do with the bowl, maybe not all that great. Earring number 2. I will bend this up later, but we're felting. So we're going to do that. And now we have 2 earrings that are Pokeballs. How fun is that? Yay! I also have blue, so I might make some Master Balls later. But I think it's time we move on to Swablu. Because Swablu is really cute. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Swablu. With another styrofoam ball. Kind of, not round. Starts round and gets, like, chunky. Or triangular. So we will add to it. But we'll start with the styrofoam. So I got light blue. There's all sorts of colors you can get. I got orange. There's, like, yellow and darker yellow. Green. You can basically get any color under the sun. On Amazon, you can buy, like, giant packs of them. So there's also a dark blue, too, but this is more Swablu. What should you draw? You should draw hold on. Kirby as a ninja. or do you want to do people? Did you prefer a person? It's pretty much one of the only pets. Okay, hold on, I've lost. One of the only things pets. Penis honest. It's working towards change. Whew! I can read. I promise I can read English. I promise. Oh, working towards changing. Oh, the bullfighting. Click, ding, lights are on. No one's home with that. Yes. Right. Gotcha. Well, that's cool. I hope they change that. A camel eating a watermelon. If you want to do a person, you could do like a dancer. Like someone dancing. This is my little... okay. Draw a video game character in my next sketchbook. To draw into a video. Woo! Yay! That makes me happy. Video game characters. Fan art is fun. Okay. So we're going to wrap it around. And I'm going to add the little chunky bits after. But for right now, I'm just going to start with a big chunk. And we're going to set this aside. Making sure not to lose it. So we don't stab ourselves more. Chopping off a piece. When I first started this, I said I was in a car. And I didn't have scissors with me. So I had like my pocket knife because we were camping. And I was just kind of like in a car, like slicing it. And was like, this isn't necessarily all of that safe, but that's okay. The wings. I'm excited for the wings for this guy. We're gonna make him big and fluffy and cloud-like. Although the wool is kind of already cloud-like, but we'll see. I want another question. A muck riding a Relicanth. Yes. All of the mashups. The Pokemon mashups. Oh, I don't like this. Would you rather eat something that is alive or something that has been rotting a while? See, rotting is just nasty and could make you sick and you'd probably vomit. I did just poke my finger, but that's okay. I will look and watch. This is a lesson in safety. Really, this is just the stream where you can laugh at Sarah poking at herself. But I wouldn't want to eat something alive. I had, octopus, which I'm pretty sure you have pretty fresh, and it was really, like, rubbery. I know some people love it. I wasn't crazy about it. I can appreciate it. I think I also just may have had it, like, cooked wrong. I've heard. Alive? Yeah? I've heard that you can get octopus that's alive and still, like, moving. Or, like, that the tentacles are still moving or something because of the nerves. I would do crickets, I think, because I know that bugs wouldn't be able to feel it. Option C, go vegan. No rotting anything. Yeah, I think I'd go like baby bugs. Ew. There we go. Okay. That was a lame question. Let's do a better one. Would you rather have 50 $1 bills or one $50 bill? Well, I'm in Canada, so we have loonies, so that would make a really heavy pocket if I had 50 loonies. I don't eat octopus because of this one commercial. Oh, interesting. I just like, I'm always game to try everything twice. Only because I was told you should always try something twice because you may have had it cooked wrong the first time. So it might not have been done right. So maybe it is something good. So I think it's good to always try everything twice is the rule that I stand by. So who knows? Like liver, I've yet to have that in a way that I've enjoyed. But again, I probably haven't had it cooked right. Can't think of like, I don't love grapefruit, but I think we already talked about that. Okay, so in the world of $50 bills. See, the nice thing is like, well, no, as soon as you have, okay, maybe just a 50. But if you lose a couple ones, then you only lose some ones. One or two, but if you lose your 50, you've lost everything. But then you have a big old wad of cash in your pocket, which might be kind of annoying. Might be easier to spend. Maybe that's the problem. If you have a 50, you're less likely to spend it. So if you're trying to save money, I think I would go with a $50 bill in my pocket. Because, let's be real, I lose stuff all the time. So, no. We'll do $1 bills. So then if I lose it, at least it'll be more difficult. Or maybe it'll go farther and a bunch of people can find $1 bills and it'll be like, yay! Then I'm making a bunch of people happy instead of just the one person that finds the 50. Oh, what did I just do? Aha! I locked it while it was down by accident and it looked really funny. Okay. Stabbing. My blood might be in this one. It's exciting. I do enjoy it. I think I enjoy felting when it's just wool on wool and not on styrofoam. I find it stabs nicer and it folds more fun, but I enjoy the shape that you get with the roundness. I think I might make Swablu's mouth really tiny because I think it'll look cuter instead of a big beak. Actually, a big beak could be really cute too. I also have black beads for eyeballs, is what I'm thinking. Because I have yet to find black felt, and it makes me very sad. I'll have to order it on the lines. The World Wide Web. Alrighty. Question. This is kind of like the other question. Would you rather continue living for 100 years or restart your life from the beginning? I would continue. Only because I don't want to do puberty again. I enjoy. I'm very happy with life and what I've done, and unless you keep your memories when you start over, because I mean, I'm always like, you know when you see a kid and they're like climbing on stuff and their arms are shorter so it's easier for them to like climb up monkey bars? That would be sweet. Granted, I could just do some chin-ups and maybe I'd be able to climb things better. I've never been able to do a chin-up. I'm working on it. I can do it with like a chair. Does that count? Oh, it's a challenge. Okay, so you can see it's starting to stab around there. Yet to haven't added too much to here. Also, it's interesting to look at. I went to a little place called Barkerville. It's based on like Billy Barker. It's like a gold rush mining town. This last week, that's was on my way through my road tripping experience. So we stopped by there, and it's like a preserved historic town, and you can dress up, and it's all like old fashioned and really cool. And this looks like a troll head. Look at it. It's just like this hairstyle is all the rage. 100 years. Right! That's what I was talking about. And it was really crazy to see, like, to think, like, this, it happened in, like, 1860. And that's not all that long ago. When you think about it. Like, jump ahead 100 years, that's like, what, the 1900s? So it's kind of around the same time, and that wasn't all that long ago, and these people were, they talked about these people, they called the overlanders, who walked across Canada. Not even across, just a couple provinces. So, like, they went from Manitoba, which is kind of in the middle, and they went through, like, 3 provinces to get to the coast of BC. And they're like, oh, it'll take us 6 weeks. And it took them, like, 6 months. And it was, like, super intense, and, like, apparently they had to, like, revert to cannibalism and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it was intense. And it's just crazy to think how much the world has changed in 100 years from, like, having to walk across the country to, you can fly now. Also computers. That's pretty intense. And medicine. That's also gotten really intense. So I feel like it would be really interesting to see what would happen in the next 100 years. I think it would be intense. Maybe all of the, like, 90s predictions will happen. And we'll have flying cars or something. But I think they have, like, self-driving cars now, so maybe we'll get to live extra 100 years. So, like, start replacing all of my organs with robotic things. Wouldn't that be weird if we all started turning into cyborgs? That'd be neat if you could get, like, an extend arm and be like, hey, I want that thing on the shelf. I got it. I think it'd be interesting. Be like Elastigirl. I've yet to see the new Incredibles. And I really want to. I'm kind of waiting for it to come out on Netflix. Because I feel like it will. So we're getting there. We're getting round. Ball-like. Alright. Would you rather... What? Would I rather what? Be smacked on the face or smacked in the back? Obviously the back. That's not even a hard question. There's so many, like... It feels like all of the most, like, sensitive sensory organs are in your face. And so, I mean, I would not want to get smacked and, like, lose my teeth or bite my tongue or get poked in the eye or... When you get hit in the nose hard? Ugh. What happened? What do you last remembered? The question I'm currently answering is, would you rather get smacked in the face or smacked on the back? And I'm saying, obviously the back. Because there's lots of, like, things here that would be painful to hurt. Like eyes and nose. Eyes. You sound like Smeagol. Like noses and things. I know every time I've ever, like, hit my nose on something, it always really hurts. And I'd rather not. Whereas you get the wind knocked out of you and eventually it comes back. Maybe. Sometimes. I've only had that happen once, getting the wind knocked out of me. And, yeah. I think I just, I'm good with that. Oh, look, I locked it again. Boink. Okay, so we're getting to the roundy bit. Now we're going to start making the triangular shape. Once we just attach this blue right here. Now that we're finally almost blue. Maybe we're back. Fudging the princess. Alright. Never mind. Okay. I will never mind. What is an expression you use a lot? An expression I use a lot? Oh dear. I think probably, oh bother, is kind of my form of cursing. It's a little bit Piglet in there. Is that Piglet or is that Pooh Bear? I don't remember. But I find when I'm really upset or like stressed out or something, I just go, oh bother. That's probably my phrase I use a lot. Oh, one that my boss uses that I think is hilarious is when she really has to go to the bathroom. She's like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. My teeth are floating. Every time she says it, I giggle because, like, just the idea of, like, being so full that your teeth float. I think that's hilarious. All right. Now we have our little blue ball. Yay. Woohoo. They're so light, too. We're gonna make it triangular. So, chop up a piece. I want it to just, I'm just gonna like add to the sides. I think I'm gonna make a roll. I'm gonna roll it up and then pull it around. I think is what the best course of action is gonna be. Because then you can felt it flat here and then keep it fat off to the side, which is what I'm looking for. I'm gonna stretch it out a bit too. It's pretty tightly woven. So let's do that. So this is going to be my flat part that I'm going to do everything around. So I think I'm going to felt that on first. Is that where I want it to be flat? Let me check out. What's the best? Okay, so this part looks a little folded over. So I'm going to use that as my bottom because I think that's the part that doesn't look the prettiest. So let's attach that. To start. Let's find a different question. Go. Which do you prefer? Warm lighting, yellow, or bright white lighting? I like white lighting. I like the lights that look like sunshine. Maybe it's because I live in a place where there's a part of the year where we only get sunshine for like maybe 6 hours a day, sometimes less depending on the time of year. So I like the white light just because, see, it's attached. Woohoo! Because I just need that extra boost of sunshine in my life. A little bit. But I know in some places you have to have the Craft Star white lighting. Yeah, me too. I find it's easier to see things. Or like if you are in like a bathroom and trying to like do any sort of makeup, having right lighting is important. Because every now and then I'll do something, I'm like, oh, this looks good. And the lighting in my bathroom is horrible. And I walk outside and one eye is like really dark. I totally just shot the wall. And then the other eye is like super light and you can't tell the difference. Because the window, it's like the mirror and then the window's over here. So then it like, natural light is on one side. And then I look kind of funny. Moral of the story, do makeup in the car. Okay, so now I got it nice and fluffy all around the bottom. And I'm just going to roll it and then attach it. It looks mostly triangular, but you know, we're doing a 3D creature. So we're going to make it the best we can. So I'm just going to roll it up and then stab it and then kind of blend it in. The store that donated the material for me, thank you, Sew It Yourself Shop, they have to have warm lighting because apparently the fabric, something about the fabric, you can't see the colors right if it's like blue lighting. I happened to be in there at a moment when a light bulb salesman came in. I did not know that was a thing, but it is. I always just thought you go to the store and you buy your light bulbs. That's what I do. But maybe for businesses it's different. And we're going to curl that in a little bit. There we go. I'm mostly just attaching it in place where I want it to be, and then it'll be, well, I'll blend it in more later. Curl that under. Ooh. Ta-da! All right. Oh, this is like a situational question. Discover a beautiful island upon which you may build your own society. You make the rules. What is the first rule you put into place? This feels very Lord of the Flies-esque. I think first rule? I feel like you need a couple. I think just like something along the lines of respect each other, treat others how you want them to treat you, I guess. So you don't go around killing people. I feel like that's a good first rule. Because you probably wouldn't want to, like, get killed by someone running around. Would be my guess. That would be my first one, I think. Okay, now I'm gonna blend it in because he's a little chunky in the sides. Murder is illegal. Yeah. That is a good one. No running around killing people. Nobody likes that. That's no good. Okay, and I'm just flattening some of the parts here a little fluffy, so I'm just flattening those out as well. Ban cannibalism. Yeah, it's just like no, yeah, just your basic. Don't eat each other. Don't kill each other. Get along, we're short-handed. Something my mother used to tell my sister and I all the time. There's only 2 of us. What would you say in a big family? Get along. You can be replaced. I don't know. Oh, man. Do you have a big family, Ginger Princess? I come from a family of 2. Okay. We're a little lumpy still. And I think I'm going to add a little more. He's quite triangular. So we'll add a little more in a minute. Yeah. Risk policy choice. Gotta stand for what I believe. You know, 4. Oh! So you're 5. Oh. That's awesome. You know, growing up I always was like, although I don't know if like people in big families feel like the opposite, but I like always wanted more siblings. Because like what happens if you're not getting along with one of them? You've run out of siblings. Ooh, so I guess known families with 6. Oh. Yeah. I think, I don't know. Part of me feels like, yeah. Gotta have a couple, so then you have some choices. And then you can play more board games. There's some board games you can't just play with 2 people. What do you do? Or like if one goes away, then you're out of siblings. I remember when my one sibling started dating and then she just wasn't around anymore and I was like, oh, this is weird. What do I do? I got some clay and started sculpting. You entertain yourself. That's what you do. Motivation to get along better. Only having one sibling, I mean. Oh, yes, that is true. You only have the one, so you better figure out your issues. That's a very good point. Okay, we need more. You're not triangularly enough. Shoe. Let's go this way, I think. We'll cut off the long side. Because I want it larger on the bottom. And we'll blend that in there. Just cover it so it gradually has a bit of a slope. Alright, so let's attach that up there. There we go. Spread this out as well. No, not into pieces. Okay. What else? You have been given the opportunity to create the half-hour TV show of your design. What's it called and what's it about? A TV show of my design. That's hard. I enjoy comedies. Are we doing like reality TV show? I mean, maybe just like, ooh, I know. Reality TV show about, I will call it, that's a thing? There, that's what I'll call it. That's a thing. Where I would go and interview different artists, with their art styles and get to try what they're doing. And it would just be like a reality TV show, documentary type thing about the different kinds of things out there. Whether it be glass blowing or weird things like felting or weaving. An ad came up. Ads. The question is, you're creating your own TV show. What is it called and what's it about? I'm calling mine That's a Thing. And where you go around and try new types of art form that you didn't think existed before. That's starting to look like a triangle. Excellent. I'm gonna roll that in there. Don't want them too lumpy. That's a thing. Mostly because I think when I learned about this, I was like, that's exactly what I said. I was like, that's I didn't know that existed. I had seen felted things before, and thought they were like extra fluffy and cute, but I didn't know what it was or how they were made. And just flattening out the bottom here. Show where people talk about their feelings honestly instead of getting loud and yelling at each other and spreading hate. Oh, so like would it be like a communications show? Would it be like counseling, like people would specifically go and talk about issues, or just like people sharing how they feel? Aight. Here we go. So I'm just kind of tucking it right on the flat end because I don't want to fluff up the bottom. I want this bottom to be relatively flat, because that's kind of the shape I'm going for. And I think that's how we're going to make it the most triangular as well. So just shoving and bulking it up more. I want it to be nice and bulked up on the outside here. Yeah, I feel like yelling is not a very, like... If it gets to the point where you're yelling, it's like, maybe you should take a break and come back, because it's not very effective. Alright, so I'm going to flatten her out on the flats, or the side that I want to be flat. And then that'll bulk up my edges. Please don't poke yourself. Forewarning. Not for children under 5. That might not be very good. Okay. Or Sarah, apparently, either. And we're going to flatten it out up here. It's interesting, like, the amount you stab. It determines the shape. I feel like there's probably a term for the stabbing that I will research and let you know about. No, shouting's not very healthy. Let's talk loudly. I mean, I feel like the only time shouting is acceptable if it's like, there's a car and you're in the way, or like if you're trying to like get someone's attention because they're gonna like get hit by a car. What's my feelings of appropriate shouting? Okay, so now we're nice and like triangular. It looks a little ice cream scoopy still. So I'm just gonna go in there with the rough needle and just pull some of these pieces up. You can kind of grab and pull it and stab it. Kind of like just grabbing it and giving it a new place to attach. Just to give it a bit more of a smooth line, like right here's a little fat, so I'm gonna pull this up. So it kind of has that nice soft edge. Robot is telling me to drink water. Alright. Pulling this up. I gotta be careful I don't try and pull too much up because you don't want to break your needle, that's for sure. Oh, that's looking so much better. The nice thing too about the styrofoam is you can kind of stab it in a good distance, and you got lots to not stab your finger with. Lots of space in there. All right. These are like really long questions. Let's go with something else. That's not a very nice question. Who would you like to punch in the face? That's not great. We're gonna skip that. You accidentally ate some radioactive vegetables. They were good. And what's even cooler is that they endowed you with the superpower of your choice. What's it gonna be? I feel like we already did this superpower one. Mine's time control. Because I think it'd be sweet to be able to pause time if you need a little extra, or speed it up when it's really slow. Although, I mean, if we've learned anything from Click, that you shouldn't speed up time and enjoy the little moments for sure. And I mean, then you find different creative things to do when you're really bored. Like at work today. It was one of those slow days. I was just like, we're just gonna clean shelves. And we had this one really ugly shelf. And I found the shelf above it was broken. So I put it on the ugly shelf so then we didn't see all the ugly nastiness on it. Punching people in the face is not a healthy form of communication. No! We do not encourage violence. Okay, I think it's looking kind of swablu-y and triangular and thus circular. So that's good. Swablu's body has been made. Now we're gonna make the cute little antennas. Yay! So I'm gonna cut a strip of the felt. And I'm actually going to cut this into 2. The same length. Perfect. This is the fun part where we're not stabbing onto styrofoam. I like to pick it up like that and turn it because I want it to be round. If you keep stabbing like this, you're going to end up getting a flat pad of like felt. But if you keep flipping it, also, I don't like doing it too much because I find if I sit here and stab flat, some of the little fibers get shoved down into the brush. And I don't want them in the brush. I want them on here. So that's what we're doing. Would be flight. Yes. Thank you, Radioactive Carrot, for the power of flight. It's kind of like a really simple question with like a really long lead up. Okay, this is okay. The constant absorption of magical moonbeams mixed with the radioactive vegetables you consumed earlier have given you the ability to resurrect the dead famous person of your choice. So, which late celebrity will you bring back to life? Robin Williams. Because I just think he's wonderful. And I would like to hang out with him. But granted, like, if I don't know, do people want to be resurrected? I know some people, like, if they lived a long life, they're just good and they're done. So maybe they don't want to be resurrected. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. We're getting there. I want it to be nice and firm. It can kind of stay quite loose, the wool. So you just gotta be, just stab. Keep on stabbing, keep on stabbing. Bob Ross! He has returned! We haven't talked about Bob Ross at all during this stream. Welcome back, Bob Ross. Let's go get some squirrels and hang out! Isn't that how we originally got on Bob Ross? Was a question like this one? Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Yes. Kill himself, but studies show from survivors they always feel great regret before their life ends. Interesting. Robin Williams. Yeah, I that's not surprising. I feel like most people in those situations want the pain to end, but not necessarily life. It's quite sad though. Those are always pretty hard. Hello question. Name the top 5 things you take with you during a zombie outbreak. A cure? But in the situation that a cure is not available, I would take... I feel like Not a crossbow. This one. Not this crossbow. Is that a crossbow? This one. So bringing him back from the dead would be awesome. Yes! I agree. Maybe it'll be good. A cure is all you need. I know. I mean, it's like maybe the cure and then like a way to like give the cure out. An endless, oh, there we go. An endless supply of zombie cure. And then you could just cure everybody. Or cure yourself if you like catch it. Alright. Stabby, stabby, stab. I was just bringing it was kind of stretching it out, and so I brought it back together. And so it would be more thick. I like leaving the end nice and thin because then you can attach it, kind of like, so I did all of the pieces for Jigglypuff here separately, and then you just attach them onto the side through numerous stabbing things. A tank! That's a great idea! A gun, my bow and arrow, and a trained professional. Ooh! Yeah! Like a survivor professional of some sort. I would take one of those. I would take some sort of like water purifier system. Like one that you can't, like, that doesn't run out, basically. I don't know what you would call that. Are you curling? Am I happy with that? For the little fluff? No, it's still a little too thin. I think we need this other layer right here. Oh, that's gonna get really thick. I'm gonna cut another piece. So we can fatten this up a bit. Attack! Not attack. Ha ha ha. Maybe I tricked you. Yeah, okay, so water. Some sort of a professional something. I feel like that professional survivor person. Very specific. A weapon. Probably something, I mean, like, guns would be efficient. No, we'll do, yeah, okay, we'll say if a cure hasn't been found. Like, a gun would be efficient, but you'd always run out of ammo, and then what are the chances you're going to find the right kind of ammo for that weapon, right? So I feel like that's where a bow and arrow has a bit of an advantage. But the bow and arrow that, like, you can do a little trigger with, not the like pulling back one, just because I think my arm would get tired. And you can always go and retrieve your arrows. Plus I think arrows are easier to make. You could come across something, you could like, I don't know the logistics of making arrows, and if it would probably affect how straight it flies, but you could theoretically make an arrow with a piece of wood and have like broken glass or something on the end. Might be a little easier to make. Because I used to make arrows like before guns, so I think that would be a bonus. So that's my weapon, water, person to help. Two more things. I would say a cure, or some sort of, if there's no cure, like a medical kit with all of the necessities. Oh, that'll be my trained professional. A doctor/warrior. A doctor that does Tai Chi in his spare time. And I'm gonna go for, I feel like I got water, food you could probably find, maybe some sort of like gardening kit. So eventually if you find a safe place, you could grow your own food. That might be good to have. Change your answer to 5 real-life Pokemon. Yeah. Actually, that's a great idea. Because those would be, like, super helpful. That's awesome. I love that. Which Pokemon are you taking? Muck? I'm just folding this together. It's a little thin. Because I want it to stay. All together now. All together. Come to me kindly. There we go. That's looking less fall aparty. Oh, I haven't used the word of the day at all yet. But what if they became Pokemon zombies? That would be even scarier. That would be. But you know, in a lot of zombie movies, it's not like they're zombie animals. It seems like it's just a disease that, like, affects people. So in that case, would that mean that maybe the Pokemon would be immune? That might be alright. So Pokemon subject to Pokemon immunity? Or what if you, I mean, if you're in the world of zombies, maybe you don't need a cure. Because maybe you are just immune. Okay. We've got a curved little head part here. Oh, it looks kind of sad. Like, oh, I'm a sad little headpiece. There we go. And this one, they're curved towards each other in that picture. Let us check if they are always curved towards or if that's just because he's flying and being adorable. Swablu. Huh, Swahaloo. Hello. Swablu. They are pointed out, it looks like. More normally. Okay, normally pointed outwards. Sweet. Mewtwo, Muck, Parasect, Giratina, and Lapras. Zombies can't swim. Muck because he's immune to poison. Hey! Parasect because he's already a zombie. Giratina because he's the Lord of the Dead. That is a very well thought out apocalyptic Pokemon crew. I'm like super impressed with how well thought out that is. Yeah, I think that's a great zombie immune Pokemon team. But then you wouldn't even need weapons if you had like Giratina as the Lord of the Dead. Because he could just like, you could turn them into your own zombie like slaves. I don't know, maybe fair paid waged zombies. They get like rations of deer brains or something, I don't know. But you could like make them work for you. And they could be your employees. And then you wouldn't have to worry about them. That looks good. That looks better. From here. It's a little curved. Okay, so we're going to attach that one. I'm going to attach that once I have the other one finished, because what I've learned is sometimes it's good to have both of them on. From eyeballs, you want to have both of the eyes before you attach them, or else it's like one's over here and one's over there, and you're like all Picasso'd up. I'm super impressed with your Pokemon zombie crew. Then I just travel back in time before the zombies happen and stop it. Also, spoilers, Professor Oak is totally Ash's dad. No way! Isn't he in all the games? Isn't he like your grandpa? Okay, last time I had thickness issues, so I'm gonna add some more to this. Just to skip a step. And we'll twist it together this time. and attach it, because that might make it a little easier and go a little faster. Step, 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 step. What a weird art form. Like, hey, let's poke wool. I'm sure it started at some point. Something to do. I know it started with applique. So, like, people having wool mittens and wanting to, like, put a little snowflake or something on their mitten. And then someone was probably like, hey, why don't we just, like, stab things into the shape we want them to be. Plot twist. I'm the apocalypse. Ah! That's intense. Does that mean you are, like, the virus? In the musical, they said Gilvini, Ash's dad. There's a musical? Like a Pokemon musical? So I just roll with that. What is this madness? There's a musical for everything. I know there's a SpongeBob musical now. And apparently it actually won a bunch of... Didn't it win a bunch of Tonys? I think it actually did quite well. Which is cool. Like, go you. Yup. I feel like this is a thing I need to watch. That was like my one nephew when he started to talk. He's 4. The one thing he could say was there was this fabric in the house with Pokemon on it. And he couldn't necessarily say his name or tell you where he lived, but this child could tell you, like, all of the Pokemon. You think it's all in Japanese. That's okay. If it's subtitled, I'm game. If not, maybe just get Google Translate going, and it just might be really, really slow. I feel like you've told me this before, but you speak a little bit of Japanese, don't you, Ginger Princess? Or understand it at least? But, you know, I feel like priorities as a child, right? Like, knowing Pokemon is way cooler than knowing, like, where you live. It's the right priorities for you. There's a subbed version on YouTube. Oh, thanks, YouTube. That's where I started watching anime. Only because I don't know if at the time there was anything, like, to, like, watch it on North American TV. Stabby, 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 stabby. Not necessarily a quiet craft, but it's great. I feel like it's up there, like, with Rage Rooms. I don't know if you've, heard of Rage Rooms, but it's basically, like, a room where you can go and smash stuff. It's like all stuff you can smash. So you pay for, like, you get like a hammer and run in there and break pots and stuff. Which, I mean, some people could be really good. Maybe that's what you need to do. Like, you do you. Okay. I'm going to curve it. And by making the curve, I'm just going to start folding things in on each self. Where I want it to bend. So it kind of starts to get that shape. It's very forgiving, felting. It's like, oh, that doesn't look nice. And then you just kind of poke it some more and then you're like, oh, that's better. Or you poke it some more and then it does not do what you want. So let's poke some more this way. That's a nice thing. Forgiving crafts are nice. Ink is not forgiving. It's like, I am here, and if you mess up, I'm still here. Okay, and I want the tip of the little wisp, I will call it, to be thinner at the end, to like come to a point. So I'm going to fold that in a little bit as well, just to make it nice and small. That's looking better. Step, 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 step. Awesome. Okay, now we're round. So we have 2. And they're a little mismatched, but I think it looks cute. Yay. I don't like how fat that is. I'm going to squish it some more. I think this is the job. This is a job for Thickenito. Here we go. Starting to look a little thinner. Okay. What do you think would be much better if you could only change the color of it? What would be better? Okay, first the question is, what don't I like the color of? I feel like everything that has a color that is unappealing has it for a reason. Like, vomit doesn't have a nice color, but you don't really want it to be appealing. So maybe it should stay that way. What would be better if it could change the color? That's kind of odd. That's a thinker. Maybe, see, like, fruits and vegetables are all super colorful. I'm trying to think if there's, like, an unappealing food that would be better if it had a different color, but... Shiny Pokemon racists? Oh, that could solve so many problems. That was very creative, Mr. Dave Beard. I enjoy that. Yes! We don't need any of that. Shiny Pokemon. Yes, some of them are different colors, hey, and you're like, what? Oh, why can't I think of an answer for this question? That's a little more pointy and less round. Let's go with wow, I'm really drawing a blank. Maybe I should come back to the question. I kind of like the colors of stuff, and all the stuff that I don't like the colors of, like, I could just change. Like, and all I can think of is, like, walls. Like, if I don't like the color of a wall, you could just paint it. I'm gonna go with goulash. Because goulash tastes great. But sometimes it's kind of like brownie bleh. Maybe if it was more like red or less pukey looking, then it would be better. Oh. I feel like my answer's really lame compared to your guys's, but that's okay. We're not here to compare answers. We're here to answer things. Okie dokie then. In the back dooryard. That's starting to look the way I want it to. I'm just kind of folding, because I want it to be round, not flat. And since I've been, also you can kind of see it's really fuzzy, and I want it to be, food dye exists too. You are correct. That is very true. But I like the color of grass, so I wouldn't want to change that. I like the color of the sky. Every now and then I'm like, what if the sky was red and the grass was orange? And then I feel like the whole world would be on fire. Maybe it's just because, like, nature colors are so naturally relaxing that I just wouldn't want to change those. Okay, now that we have both. And this is round, so I'm not going to just, like, it looks like a little sandwich donut. So I think what I want to do, because I want it to be right on the center of his head, and so I'm not going to just attach it to the back, because then it's going to look funny. So I'm going to split this part up, almost trying to make like a flat base is the goal. Just stretching that out. Is that the height I want it to be? And then you can just stick it on top. However, this looks a little chunky. So I'm going to fix it. I didn't even think about food dye. It's weird. You can get like paste food dye. I think it's mostly for like... Ha ha ha! Take that. Oh, that looks better. It's mostly for like fondant and stuff, but it's intense. Oh, that's better. Round. Okay. So, where do I want the front to be? I want the front to be right there. Not that it matters, because I'm going to stick it right on the top. So they're pretty long. So we're going to stick it right here, I think. And for placing things on, I like to use the rough one needle. That's what I'm referring to when I say one. And then for all the little sticky uppy parts, we can just stab them on. Attach. That's a better word. Attach them on with the numerous needles. Look at that, and it's attached. Ta-da! Hooray! Okay, this one's turn. This one's a little fuzzy on the back here, so I'm just going to fold that over and stick it in. Okay. When was the last time you screamed at the top of your lungs? Good grief, have I ever? Oh, I remember. I went hiking up a mountain, and standing at the top of it, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun or feel good to just scream? And so then at the top of the mountain, I just like yelled at the top of my lungs. It was very therapeutic. That's probably the last time I screamed at the top of my lungs. Just because I thought it would be therapeutic. Thought it would feel nice. Sometimes it's fun to be loud. Do you ever, like, when you're really bored? I do this a lot when I'm really bored, just start making noises. And you just make weird random noises because there's nothing else to do. Maybe that's the 4-year-old in me, but sometimes it's fun to just make noises. Also, I feel like that's where all of the good, like, puppet voices come out of, is randomly practicing making weird noises. I'm just poking it till I like it. Heyo. It looks a little fuzzy. There we go. We're learning. Okay, we got the head. I can't scream anymore, so it's been a while. Nope, not ever. You're so weird. LOL, Sir Mr. Dr. Moose, I mean. I'm weird for, like, yelling at the... Oh, making weird noises, you mean? Yeah. I don't know, it kind of hurts your throat. Okay, tail feathers. And then we will make a beak. This one's sitting down. I actually think I'm going to make cute little tiny tail feathers. I'm just going to cut out maybe 2 pieces from here. And then just kind of stab them flat. Because I think it'll be cute that way. To the stabbing of the flat. And just making sure I'm picking it up so it doesn't get stuck in the brush. Odd question. What would your dream bathroom look like? I can't say I've ever thought about that. Dream bathroom. I think double sinks are useful. And helpful. Probably blue. Because I like the color blue. Also, I find it light and relaxing. Ooh, a big tub that you can actually spread out in and not like have your like feet crammed up together. Nice big bathtub, but also a shower. Because sometimes you just don't have time to take a bath and you need to have a shower too. I don't think I'd care if they were like attached or not. Again, I'm just folding this in to make it kind of pointy. Pink. Ooh, I didn't even think about a pink bathroom. That would be fun. That's all you need. As long as it's pink and has a toilet, that's all that really matters. I think a good toilet. It's because nobody likes plunging a clogged toilet, and I feel like a good toilet is important. Do you ever have that moment where you like use the bathroom at someone else's house and then you clog their toilet and you have that moment of like, ooh, what do I do in this situation? It's only happened to me a couple times. But I'm pretty sure that I've always like managed to unclog it in time. The other day, as in yesterday, I have to give my tortoise baths. Super short child-sized toilets. Oh, like a good sized. Yeah, you don't want the tiny ones. When I was in elementary school, it was like K to 7. And then I was the last year like that, and then they changed it to K to 6, and grade 7 went to middle school. But my classroom, I was in like a English/French immersion school. So the English class was on like the elementary side, and then like all of the other higher grades were like upstairs with the French immersion. So the bathrooms that we had to use that were closest to had all the like elementary school kids' toilets. And they were really, really small. So you had to squat way down there to use them. All the stages of grief when you clog the toilet at someone else's house. What are they all? There's, so, denial. No, I didn't actually do that. Anger. Oh my gosh, this toilet's so stupid. I can't believe it. It sucks. Sadness? Is that one of the stages of grief? Like, oh, I clogged the toilet. Bargaining? What is bargaining? What does that look like? Like, well, maybe I don't have to clog it or unclog it. Maybe I should just leave it and they'll think it was someone else. Is that all of them? Acceptance. I have clogged the toilet. That's all. That's okay. I've clogged it. I'm gonna have to figure this out. What a real friend does is covers for you and says that they were the one that clogged the toilet when really it was your friend. That is a true friend right there. Acceptance. I have clogged the toilet. So what was the first one's anger? No, it's denial, anger, and then bargaining, sadness, sadness. Excuse me. Okay. Debating if I want to put some dark blue in here too. I think I do. Because I want to add that. No, I'm throwing that around. I want to add some texture in to the feather. So I'm going to cut a really thin piece and just stick it in the middle. Just to give it a bit of definition. Again, trying to keep it like thin. So folding it in and adding it to the middle. Oh, here, I'll move this way more. There's a part of me that wants to just like felt a bunch of little Pokemon and only have those on like a Christmas tree as ornaments and just have little Pokemon. Because I think that'd be adorable. My family once did a fishing Christmas tree, and it was just all like fishing hooks. But I mean, some of those are really colorful. It actually looked pretty cool. So why not? I can't say I've ever strung popcorn. Oh no, maybe I did. I vaguely remember poking my finger. Seems to be a theme today. There. Now there's a bit of texture in there. Okay, now we're going to get this guy nice and flat. Yep, I think that's about it for the bathroom. I can't say I ever thought about it too much. Actually, I like nautical sea theme. I think that would look cool. I once went to a friend's washroom and it was so decorated. I don't even think they could use the shower. But it was very nautical and it had fishing nets up in the shower and like all of these like shells and stuff all along in the net. So it was pretty intense. But I always thought it looked really cool. I mean, again, though, I wasn't sure if they could actually use their shower at all. But it looked cool. I also think it may have been a guest washroom. I don't know if people actually used it. It felt like stepping onto a pirate ship a little bit. But I just like seashells. I think they're pretty. Okay, this one's a little thin, so I'm just folding it in. Ha ha ha, that rhymed. Excellent. Okay. When was the last time you literally stopped to smell the flowers? When was the last time I smelled a flower? I smelled a lot of soap recently. I was at this little, like, farm with these, like, homemade soaps. And the one that smelled the best was an apple one, actually. I didn't think apple pie would make a good soap smell, but it did. It was quite nice. I don't know. Is this like, literally? Oh yeah, literally stopped to smell the flowers. A long time ago, apparently, because I cannot remember. But I can't say I'm around flowers too much. Where I live, there's not a lot of wildflowers outside of, like, dandelions, which you don't really want to smell, especially if you have allergies. I do not, but yeah, that's about it. I feel like I was saying something about the tortoise. Okay, now I got a second. Here we go. Second tail feather. Okay, so we're going to stick them both. I'm going to stick the one without the definition on it underneath. So we got a cute little tail. I think 2 is good. I'm going to attach this one first. Or do I want the side to be the face? Is this the face side or is this the face side? This is the face side, so this is going to be the bum. We'll put it on this side. I just think the other side looks more face-ish. Ta-da! Tail feather 1. You're back! Hello! There it is. My robot telling me I should drink. Okay. What is your favorite form of exercise? Dancing. 100%. Because it is so much fun. Like, country dancing, I used to go to a lot of barn dances. I just think they stopped having them. I haven't seen them happening in a long time. But two-stepping is a blast. Jiving is great. Poking our fingers is also wonderful. I just enjoy dancing. There we go. I think it's a great way. I just think it's the most fun. I also like kayaking a lot, actually. That's very relaxing. Also, you can kind of sneak up on critters when you're kayaking. Oh. His head's a little fat. I'm going to squish it down right here. So, it's easier to, like, I've gotten really close to beavers on a kayak, to, like, muskrats. So you can kind of, like, go up beside them. Whereas on, like, a bigger boat, you would, yeah, that looks better. The big boat kind of scares them off, whereas when you're paddling, you can get pretty close. And this side looks a little bit. And skiing. I also enjoy skiing. Hot makeouts. That's exercise. Long walks. Yes. I also enjoy a good walk. There we go. Separate those up a bit. Here, we got a tail. Hot makeouts. Scoff. Okay, I'm gonna do what next? Moving on to the white. Let's make his beak. It's got a cute little beak. Like that, right? Walks the most? Yeah. Well, walks are nice because if you have someone with you, you can chat. Hiking is also wonderful. I don't feel like this is going to be enough. I'm going to take this ball instead. Okay. So he's got also a triangular shaped beak. So let's start with a ball and we'll move away from there. I just want it to be in a nice bunch. Stabbing it till it's all bunched up. Walks are pretty great. Especially like if you can like, I mean mosquitoes aren't great, but especially if you can get into a good like nature area. We have like a community forest in town that I really like walking through. Aha! So I kind of started making a ball and then it kind of started to get a little triangular. So now I'm just stabbing it until it's keeping that shape. And I want to keep the one side flat because that's how I'm going to attach it to Swablu's face. What an odd question. Well, I guess not necessarily. Makes me miss dancing a little bit. Okay. If you could add a single option to your car, what would it be? The windows roll up, so I'm pretty happy. And I have a Bluetooth in there, which is great. And it came with a subwoofer, which is fun. I'm actually really happy with my car. Maybe that the seat would go back a little further because it's perfect for me, but I have very tall passengers that aren't necessarily all too comfortable in there. That's kind of the only thing. I have solar power. Infinity gas. Wow, you guys are more creative than me. Solar power. Yeah, not having to pay for gas would be wonderful. I didn't even think about that. Far more economical than I am. That would be sweet. I haven't seen a whole lot about like electric cars, but I know that they're becoming more of a thing. Alrighty. Just gotta go like the Jetsons and get like magnet cars. But then you'd have to redo all of the roads, and that would probably be quite the cost, which is probably what keeps people back. Need a beak. Is it too big? Maybe I'll make it a little smaller. We'll stab it a bit more. Make it a little tinier. Slingshot. It's getting pretty tight. I don't know if it's going to get too much smaller. I don't know. I think that's adorable, so I'm going to stick with it. It'll be fat. This will be the big beaked one. Now I'm debating. I'm going to make a small one and then compare. Because I'm feeling indecisive. Is there anything hanging on your wall that motivates you? Is there anything hanging on my wall? No, but mostly because I'm in a rental and I don't want to, like, poke holes in the wall. I have lots of pictures of, like, Mr. Dave Beard and I, which I don't know if it motivates me, but they make me very happy. But I think it's looking for, like, a quote or something. I don't think I have anything. Quote, like, I really like on the Lego Movie when they have the cat poster that's hanging there. And the cat's, like, hanging off of a tree. I appreciate that one. I don't know, I actually used to put maps up in my room. I just thought they looked cool. Can't say I've ever had a whole lot of posters, though. Just, like, I have, like, some artwork I've done up. Then you have to find frames. Actually, I really enjoy finding, like, really weird frames from thrift stores, because you don't just get, like, square frames. Like, I found one that's a cube, and it's like this, like, multi-cube frame that you stick photos in, like, all sides of it, and then you can, like, turn the cube around. And there's another one that was, like, heart-shaped. Extreme deja vu. And also the setup you currently have and what you're currently doing. And I think I predict the future and just mistook it as a dream. That's totally happened to me too. Oh, cool. I was always told that deja vu meant that you were on the right track. So thanks for hanging out. I don't know if it means anything, but yeah, it's crazy when that happens, hey? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, did your dream tell me whether or not to use, did I use the big beak or the small beak? Because I've yet to decide which one I like better. So here's small beak for Swablu. I'm going to squish his head a little more because he's a little too... He needs to be a little rounder, I think. Okay. Small beak. Here, we'll poke it in there somewhere. Let's poke it. There. Okay, so this is small beak. And this is large beak. What is more Swablu? I think I might go for the small one. I think if I do the big one, then I'm not going to have any room for his feet or his eyes. Okay, we're going to go small. I'm going to grab a couple beads. Oh, these are really tiny. Oh well, it'll be adorable. Tiny eyes or big eyes, nothing in between. Those are really small. Okay, maybe I won't use those. We'll use them just for placement factor though. Ha! These are small. Little beady-eyed. The big one? Looks really funny. Oh my gosh. Small. Okay, let's try the big one. The big one does look a little more Swablu. We could just make him big dorky feet too. Okay, let me see if I can flatten this a bit. I think the little tiny eyes are a little small. Okay, let's see if I can flatten this. It is thick. My goodness. Okay. Oh, I like that better, actually. Maybe if we just tuck it in the sides, then it'll be a little better. I think it's just a little on the misshapen side. We'll make it a little more round-esque. And bring it together a bit more. Keep my face out of the camera, Sarah. Don't need to see the top of my forehead. Mostly remember you debating whether you should use the big beak or the small beak. Interesting. No pressure. This is not a big decision. It's just been foreseen from a dream in the past. Oh no. I remember the only dream, have you ever had a dream that repeats itself? The only dream I've ever had that has repeated itself was right before I woke up. It was just like a random police officer that I had no idea who it was looking at me going, no, and then I woke up. And that happened 3 times over the span of like a couple years. Maybe just 1 year, I don't know. But over a span of time, I just had dreams of like this one cop guy looking at me and saying no, and I was like, okay, no what? It was very odd. Don't know if that was like a sign, but I always have weird dreams. This side, squish. It's a little too round. Okay. Oh, I think that's better. Does he look dorky? Does Triborg look dorky? Maybe. What do you think, Mr. Dave Beard? I'm being indecisive. Small beak. Oh, this is the large one. Large beak. Tiny beak. Actually, I'm kind of partial to the large one now. We'll go large, I think. I don't know. Just make a decision, Sarah. Tiny? Well, if I do tiny and I don't like it later, I can always add more. So I think I'm going to go for that. Only because then I can change my mind. Maybe I didn't eat enough supper. Decisions get harder when I'm hungry. Okay, let's give him fake eyeballs for the moment. That are a little bigger. Come here. I have this weird, like, what are they called? Not pin holders. It looks like a tomato. That's what I put all my pins in. And it's supposed to, like, sharpen your pins, so it's kind of like sandpapery, but it doesn't actually work all too well. Okay, these are my fake eyeballs for the moment. Just so I can have a reference. Where would I put the eyes on this guy? Oh, that's kind of cute. Alright, let's do that. I think they need to be a little higher. Well, this one's blue, not black. That's fine. It's only temporary. You like the large one, though? Pin cushion. Yeah, that's the word you're looking for. Let's take a look at it with the... What if I turn it that way? Got quite the beak. You know what we'll do? We'll put the feet on. And then we'll know what it looks like with feet and whether or not the feet will get in the way. So we'll just leave that for later. Speaking of feet, should probably start those. This is like solid elevator music going on here. And ask another question. Do you find pets friendlier than humans? Depends on the human and depends on the pet. Because sometimes my tortoise is very, very friendly, mostly when he wants food. And sometimes people aren't, but sometimes people are, and sometimes pets aren't. Like, sometimes dogs are kind of scary. Sometimes dogs are super sweet. I feel like that question needs a little more specific. Okay, for his feet, I'm just making it flat. He's got little, like, and now that it's mostly flat and controllable, I'm going to fold this side into a bit of a point as best as we can. There we go. And then we'll bring the toes in as well. Just kind of working on the flat surface. Oh, come to me. How is your drawing going, Ginger Princess? Did you end up doing a Kirby or a Pokemon? Okay. There we go. Let's turn this way, and then this way, and then this way. There, that's kind of got a bit of a round to it. And I'm going to bring this middle part in to a point. We're going to stick this one out, and stick this one out. Actually, I think I might cut a hole into that middle there, because it's kind of thick. So that is what we will do. I'm going to flatten that side of it. Okay. Let's cut him some toes. Bloop. There we go. I can work with that now. What is one show that you can't watch with anyone? Something that I don't want commentary on. You see, I'm the one that usually talks. I'm that annoying person that talks during movies. I'm really sorry. So I can't say that there's a show that I would prefer to watch by myself. I like sharing that with people. Oh, anything anime, actually. Oh yeah! Oh yay! I'm gonna go with anime. Only because I like watching it with subtitles and not like English dubbed over, because that's how I watch my anime. And I'm not the best multitasker, so then if someone starts talking, then you gotta pause it. Or else you're going to miss stuff. Because, I'm not really able to read something and understand what I'm reading while listening to someone talking. So that is my answer. I'm going with anime is a show that I cannot watch with other people. Alright. I'm going to flatten that out a bit. It's a little fuzzy. So we're just gonna stab it. And bring a little more definition in on those toes, because I really want it to look like there's two of them. There we are. Flat in out. And then this toe's gone a little rogue, so I'm gonna bring it in a little bit. Kind of looks like little hearts almost. Little toes. Oh my gosh. That's kind of really cute. I'm gonna want it, I think I want it a little pointed. More pointed. So, although the hearts are really cute. I'm just gonna bring this edge in a little more. And bring this edge in. Just because I do want him to look like Swablu, and I do want it to be a bird. And birds usually don't have hearts on their feet. They usually have talons. There we go. I love the whole, like, cloud aspect of Swablu, though. It's like a little fluffy cloud. There we go. That's a little better. It looks more heart-like, but that's okay. All right. We'll do this again. Ooh, pictures. Ha 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 ha. Oh, Kirby's so cute with this big Zord. That's wonderful. It's very cute. I like that a lot. Okay, there we go. I think that's about the right size. Something that I found works best is if you cut, if you're doing like 2 eyes or 2 feet, is to cut them at the same time, and then you know that like the thickness is gonna be about the same. But that's alright. Okay. And flip it over. I love your drawings, Ginger Princess. That just makes me happy. Hello, question. What is your least favorite mode of transportation? I would have to say not like city bus, because city buses are very useful, but like Greyhound, like long bus. Mostly because they're just really, really long. Not that I've done it all that much, and I haven't really done it recently, so maybe it's changed. I know they have bathrooms, and some of them have like Wi-Fi now. But I know that I've done some trips in school buses. Those are kind of fun though, because then you have friends, but the lack of bathroom can be a little painful. But planes freak me out a little bit, but I'll still go on a plane. It's very efficient, but there's this little part of me that's like, this is when I'm going to die. But I still go on them, because they're like a great way to get overseas, and I don't really feel like people take boats overseas anymore, so that probably might not be an option as transportation. I know they like ship stuff overseas, but okay, we want to make these look the same, so yeah, I'd probably go with like long form. I've never been on a train. I've been on like sky trains and stuff, but like old-fashioned like choo-choo train. Skiing as a mode of transportation, like downhill skiing. Never been, but it looks dangerous. I guess it depends where you're doing it. I've enjoyed skiing quite a bit, but it is pretty freaky. There was one time I was skiing and a lynx randomly like walked across the ski trail, and it looked at me and I looked at it, and then it just walked away like, I know that I'm like, could take you in a fight or whatever. It was just super chill, and I was like 10. It was kind of frightening. Alright. I would like to go on a train someday, though. I think that would be kind of cool, like the old train cars. I don't know if that still exists, but I think that would be really neat. And hot air balloon. I really want to do that. That's a mode of transportation. Yeah, it takes you one place to another. It looks mildly terrifying, but really good. I think it'd feel like flying. Okay, I'm making some toes. Cooperate, please. Here we go. There's one toe. I might have to cut some more off this other toe. It's kind of thick. I don't think it wants to move. Kind of gets to a point where your wool gets so condensed that it's just like, nah, man, this is how I am. There's no way this is gonna move. I tried cross-country skiing once, and at that point, I had done quite a bit of like alpine downhill skiing, and I was like, this is gonna be easy. I can go down a hill skiing, so going straight should be fine. It was not. It's a lot harder. It takes a lot of coordination. To go down a hill skiing. Or to go across, I suppose. I fell like 5 times. I don't know if you've heard of telemarketing. It's like a mix between cross country and downhill, so you can like walk with it. Gotta go. Aw, thanks, Ginger Princess. It was great hanging out with you. We will see you another time. You rock. You're awesome. May the badges be ever in your favor. Alright. So we got our toes. Awesome. So let's... That's really cute. Okay, do we want our toes facing up? I think I do want the toes facing more up. Or we could do them out. Let's put them here, I think. And facing off to the side. I will pin them in just to figure out where they should live. Kind of underneath as well. Just because, you know, that's where your feet come from. That's pretty cute, I think. Got little feet sticking out. We got some, maybe okay, now the real question. Little nose. Big nose. I think I'm gonna go for the tiny one. Then I can always add more. Where do we think? Down. I like to kind of use a pin to find out where I want to put it. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Just because then you can kind of figure out where you want things to go. Eyeballs are kind of off to the side for this guy. So we will use the little pins for the moment off to the side. Okay, and now we attach. So I'm just going to go along the edge. Oh, can't make sure I didn't move that. First, attaching it with the rough. Aha! And then I will go in and do some more intense attachment afterwards. I don't want the whole thing attached. I like his feet kind of like fraying out from the body, so we will do that. And then put it on the brush. Avoid finger stabbing and attach it like that. Oh my goodness. It's just so sweet. Okay, here we go. Right there, I think is the good. I like symmetry, so we'll put that there. And stab that one on as well. This one's attaching pretty quickly and not taking as long. I think mostly because we are... Oh, toe. Don't go off to the side. This fat end here is mostly wool, and it goes a lot faster attaching wool to wool than the wool to the styrofoam, which is pretty nice. There we go. Got his 2 little feet. Little tail. Now the beak. Do I want it lower? It's higher. Maybe let's put it right there. There we go. Maybe I should turn it around. Yeah. Okay, we'll put it there. What's another question? What is my favorite combination of colors? Favorite combination of colors, hey. I think orange and purple look really cool together. I don't know if that would be my favorite combination of colors. Just like the contrast. I'm moving his nose over a little bit because it was a little off center. Sky blue is my favorite. I think maybe some sort of sky blue with maybe... Blue with more blue? Green is nice. That's kind of nature-y. Black and red just look awesome together, though. I guess it depends if you're going for like a classy look or what the colors are for, but I do like blue and purple as well. Okay. We are stabbed together. And I'm going to give it one big poke with this guy, just so it's nice and attached. Yay! We've got a nose, we've got some feet, got some eyeballs. I'll take this off for now. I've got a face and some feet. Some cute little... I don't even know if they're antennae. I think they're just like the top feathers. Okay, now the intense part begins. If felting can get intense. The wings. I got some white here. I'm making some fluffy blue and white wings. Alright. So these I want to keep mostly quite fat. I don't want them too small. Oh, he's just so cute sitting off in the side. Looks a little gray in the camera and the lighting I have. It's a little more blue. So, just to keep it less fluffy, and they're kind of clouded and bubbly, so I don't want it to be too like fat. So I might just leave it pretty loose, I'm thinking, but enough that it's still gonna stay together and not fray all over the place. Aha! The cotton, the wool itself is already quite cloud-like in nature, so making it a little smaller around where I'm gonna attach it to. I'll probably do the same as I did for the antenna and just kind of or the top feathers, however you want to do it, and fray it out. Okay, and so I'm gonna try and make little circles. So I'm just gonna like felt in a circle just to make those little bubbly looks. I'm just gonna do a bunch of little circles, and just so it has that bubbly cloud-like texture. But keeping it fluffy still. Stay fluffy. Can that be an expression? And all you do is stay fluffy. Perfect. I'm not doing too much because, again, I don't want it to get too condensed and fat. And then it'll fold in over the back too, and life will get crazy. Let's take a look here. That looks a little too fat, so we're gonna go right here. Too long. I'm gonna poke it this way. That looks better. Okay, and then this part is loose and crazy, so let's bring that in a little bit. Alright, what's another question we can do? What do you think starts the week, Sunday or Monday? I always feel like Monday is the start of the week. I know all the calendars are like it's Sunday, but Sunday is still part of the weekend. So Sunday is a weekend day. So I feel like that doesn't quite count. Because it's the end of the week. Oh. They're so fluffy. Lovely. This top end is a little off-shaped, so we're going to do that. That's kind of the fun thing about sculpting or doing felting is you're working 3D versus like a 2D art project, which is pretty neat. Okay, now we're going to do wing number 2. Cutting off another piece here. Yes. I find if you like scrunch it together, you kind of get the idea of the shape, and at this point I just want it to match the other one, so we will do this. Next question. All right. First thing you do in the shower. I think I'll wash my hair first. Yes. I wash my hair first. Because that way I could put the conditioner in and let it sit while I do the rest of this shower time activities. What an odd question. I guess everyone does something different, hey? People soap up first. I guess it depends how your shower is. I know some people turn on water, turn off, turn on, turn off if they're on like a cistern or something. I used to shower every day, but then I started getting like, I started drying out. I kind of like melted a little bit. So then I transferred to, and I felt like, oh, that's a lot of water. Maybe I should be a little more conservative. All right. We got our 2 fluff balls. This one's a little more condensed and has a little more texture, so I'm gonna add a little more little round ball things. Are you more of a coffee or tea drinker? I am a tea drinker, 100%. I love the smell of like fresh coffee. Like fresh ground coffee. I think that is like a wonderful, wonderful smell. But for some reason I've never liked the taste of coffee, and coffee kind of makes me fall asleep. So I find I can't do a whole lot with coffee, or else I snooze. This one's a little too cylindrical and I want it to be rounder, so I'm going to do this and try and get it a little fatter. More round on the top. And we're gonna fluff it out a bit. I'm actually gonna pull it away from itself because it's a cloud wing. To floof, floof, and floof. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to attach them. So I'm opening up the loose part at the bottom here, just so I can attach it more in a round fashion instead of flattening and blending it into the side. So I'm going to attach it right here. And then I'll use all the little loose hairs that are coming off there. You can just tuck those in. So I'm going to stick it right there, a little bit above the feet, because that's where wings attach. And I'm just going to attach it around the side, along the edge, just because right now I just want it to stay on. Because if it's not staying on, you can't really work with it. Perfect. Okay. And now I'm just going to attach the other one and get it to match. And then all of those freewheelers that are going on there, we'll tuck those in and get those looking good. This one I'm just going to squish around with my fingers and make it a little longer. And we haven't made any of our Pokemon iridescent today. We're doing a blue Pokemon, so not a whole ton of blushing going on over here. Alright, hold you down and get you attached along the edge. Do you plan your outfits? Oh, I never answered. Oh, right. I love the smell of coffee. But I love the taste of tea. I don't usually drink caffeinated tea, though. So, you know, that way I don't fall asleep. Sometimes I have a uniform shirt for work, and I also am pretty out of it in the morning. So I find if I pre-plan what I'm going to wear the next day, then it's less chances of me walking out of the house like with a my button's all funny. But granted, I do that pretty regularly as well. Oh, I keep knocking over his little head feather. I'll just stab it in there so it's attached a little better. So I mostly just plan outfits for the sake of ease. If it's like a weekend, I don't really bother because if I have a day off, I usually don't change out of my comfy pants unless I'm leaving the house. Okay. We are almost all attached here. Lovely. Cute little fluffy wing. Oh, don't be sad. Perk up. So we got one fluffy wing on one side, and we're going to attach the rest on this side as well. I like a clean line, but that's just the pen and anchor in me wanting the nice clean line. Also, it makes it look less messy and more concrete. Oh, what is the closest thing to you that is red? It's a Pokeball right there. Okay. Those almost match. This side is a little crazier than the other, so I'm just gonna stick it against the edge here. And give it a bit more roundness to it. The other one is a little tighter, but again, wool is very forgiving. And you can kind of push and poke it into whichever way you want it to be. This side I want to go down a bit. This side I want to go in a bit. There we go, now they match a little better. And then this one's a little loose now, so we'll stab that guy in there a bit too. He's so cute. Alright, there you go. There's a little Swablu for you. And we'll see if we can do some eyes here. I do not have black, but I have a very dark green. So maybe we'll throw those on. Just because I think he needs some eyeballs. Some light green. Since we're talking about how blue and green go so nice together anyway, why not mix the two? And he's got really small little circular eyeballs. So just grab a little tiny bit. And the nice thing is too, you can always add to it. So when I do get black, I will throw some black on there. The green looks funny. We're not going to do that. So for now, we will poke him with the pins, and those will be his eyeballs. And we'll add them another stream. The next felting stream, I will bring on some eyeballs. Alright. Yeah, raw wool is not something you find. It's not used as much as you think. That, or I need to find some dye and make my own. Oh my goodness. You are so cute. Alright, here we go. Here's our Swablu. His little tail. His little fluff. Oh, that makes me really happy. His eyes are a little crooked. Let's fix that. There we go. Cute for now. Woohoo! Fluffy. Okay. It is 8:15. I actually think I went much longer than I said I was going to. No, I said 8. Look at that. And we are finished just on time. Cool. So, we had some wonderful felting times. I've only stabbed myself maybe 2 or 3 times, which is pretty not bad. Only bled once. Successful art. So we have our Jigglypuff as our sample. Then we have our very cute 2 Pokeball earrings going on here, which we felted. And we have Swablu. So there you are. Thank you so much for joining me today on Crosshatch Creations. And I will see you Friday. Tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks again. And we'll see you next time. May the badges be ever in your favor. I hope something in this stream made you so happy. It made you erubescent.